Hi, it's Maureen Muldoon, and we are on lesson 155 with A Course in Miracles, the workbook lessons. And the lesson today is I will step back and let Him lead the way. It says, there's a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. You do not change appearances, though you smile more frequently. Your forehead is serene, your eyes are quiet, and the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own. Yet those who have not yet perceived the way will recognize you also and believe that you are like them as you were before. So it's saying that as you continue to practice these lessons and make peace the most important, like your goal, if you make peace your goal, that you will experience more smiling and an unfurrowed brow. And I can attest to that. That is the truth and the whole truth. So those are major benefits of working this program. It goes on to say the world is an illusion. Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where they can be illusions and avoid their own reality. Yet when they find their own reality is even here, they step back and let it lead the way. What other choice is really theirs to make? To let illusion walk ahead of truth is madness, but to let illusion sink behind the truth and let the truth stand forth as what it is merely sanity. So it's saying, like, you might think that you're a mother, father, sister, brother, worker, bee. You might think that you are all these identities, but really you're love. And when you get here and you think, I'm going to be and do all of these things, and then you finally recognize, maybe not. Maybe I'm just going to be love. There's a certain surrender that brings a certain degree of serenity to the way you navigate the world, and it's not a bad thing. There's no sacrifice, is what I'm trying to say. Number 3, this is the simple choice we make today. The mad illusion will remain a while in evidence for those to look upon who chose to come and have not yet rejoiced to find they were mistaken in their choice. They cannot learn directly from the truth because they have denied that it is so, and so they need a teacher who perceives their madness, but who still can look beyond illusion to the simple truth in them. So it's saying that, we fell asleep into this mad illusion where we thought we were these bodies, and we started being bossed around by the illusion of time and space. And we got hung up and strung out on these scenarios that happen in time and space into the body. And we started to define ourselves by what happened to the body. And it's saying, like, there's a teacher, this internal teacher, that you can go to that will help you to navigate these illusions and help return you to peace of mind. Number 4, truth demands they give up the world. It would appear to them as if it asks the sacrifice of something that is real. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing its reality, and they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. Others have chosen nothing but the world, and they have suffered from a sense of loss still deeper, which they did not understand. Between these two paths, there is another road that leads away from the loss of every kind, for sacrifice and deprivation both are quickly left behind. This is the way appointed for you now. You walk this path as others walk, nor do you seem to be distinct from them, although you are indeed. Thus can you serve them while you serve yourself, and set their footsteps on the way that God has opened to you, and them through you. So it's saying, we're being asked to sort of surrender the world. But when we think about that, we think, oh my God, I'm giving up all of these titles and these ideas of myself. But there's no loss, there's no deprivation in the way that we walk to God. And it seems like we're walking with other people who were being called to help along the way. But those other people really are just us. I know, it's kind of trippy, but I don't know. I mean, it's what it's saying, so we don't have to argue with it. We can just sort of play around with the concepts. Number 6, illusion still appears to cling to you that you may reach them. Yet it has stepped back, and it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion that you bring their eyes to look on and their minds to grasp. Nor can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them through illusions, for the road leads past illusions now, while on the way you call to them, and they may follow you. So it's saying like, it's actually really beautiful what it's saying. It's saying like we step back, I step back, I let God lead, and the words that come through me to you or to anyone else are not my words, are the words of love. And no longer are we going to use stories, scenarios, illusions to justify our not making haste to God. The only thing you need to make haste to is to God. And we want to turn all of our noses towards the divine direction. And in doing that, we begin to experience the unification of the sonship. And we all play our part in the sonship. You play it, and I play it. And so today's the day that we get to unify and join together in our unified goal of walking to God. It's saying 7, all roads will lead to this one in the end. So don't worry about taking a wrong turn, because everything's going to be used. It says, for sacrifice and deprivation are paths that lead nowhere, choices for defeat, and aims that will remain impossible. All this steps back as truth comes forth in you to lead your brothers from the ways of death and set them on the way to happiness. Their suffering is but illusion, yet they need a guide to lead them out of it, for they mistake illusion for the truth. I don't know why, for me it brings up, the ideas of the 12-step, like everybody is everybody's guide, basically. Such is salvation's call and nothing more. It asks that you accept the truth and let it go before you, lighting up the path of ransom from illusion. It is not a ransom with a price. There's no cost, but only gain. Illusion can but seem to hold in chains the Holy Son of God. It is but illusion he is saved. As they step back, he finds himself again. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you, and you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of truth and let illusion be your guide. Your holy brothers have been given you to follow in your footsteps as you walk with certainty of purpose to the truth. It goes before you now, that they may see something with which they can identify, something they understand to lead the way. So we're all being asked to walk the good walk to God, and then also and that this isn't just for us to walk alone, but that we are going to be leaders for people following us. Apparently that's what's happening. Apparently. This, in thinking about that, like, I get it. I get the idea of like there needing to be like people to help people. But there's a part of me that's like, I don't necessarily want to be considered a leader of anybody. I know that's an interesting thing to confess, but there is always that reluctancy that lives within me. I'm like, I just want to be a lone wolf. Like, you do you and I'll do me, and we'll all just walk to our destiny. But I see these lessons are like, I understand we're here to be helpful, but I do think that the most helpful thing that you or I can do is to just be our own authentic self. It's a very slippery cusp that we can live on, and we think we're here to be helpful to others. Because first we got to put our own oxygen mask on and really walk the good walk and really be consistent in our own practice. And then, if that's helpful to others, great. But don't try and be helpful to others before you truly get in alignment with your truth. Because otherwise you'll be leading people around chasing their tails. As spiritual teachers, which we all are, according to A Course in Miracles, we want to help people to find peace. Not to hoard people, but to help people. Yet, at the journey's end, There will be no gap, no distance between the truth and you, and all illusion walking in the way you travel will be gone from you as well, with nothing left to keep the truth apart from God's completion, holy as himself. Step back in faith and let truth lead the way. You know not where you go, but one who knows goes with you. Let him lead you with the rest. Well, that's the good news. It's like, thank God. It's like, we're just supposed to walk in love, and then there will be a guide who helps all of us walk together. So that's the good news. Number 11, when dreams are over, time has closed the door on all things that pass, and miracles are purposeless. The Holy Son of God will make no journey. There will be no wish to be illusions rather than the truth, and we step back towards this as we progress along the way that truth points out to us. This is our final journey, which we make for everyone. We must not lose our way, for as truth goes before us, so it goes before our brothers who will follow us. 12. We walk to God. Pause and reflect on this. Can any way be holier or more deserving of your efforts or of your love and of your full intent? What way could give you more than everything? Such a great question. Or offer less and still contend the Holy Son of God? Nothing. No other way. So we walk to God. The truth that walks before us now is one with God and leads us to where He has always been. What way but this could be a path that you would choose instead? Your feet are safely set upon the road that leads the world to God. Look not to ways that seem to lead you elsewhere. Dreams are not a worthy guide for you who are God's son. Forget not He has placed His hands in yours and given you your brothers in His trust that you are worthy of His trust in you. He cannot be deceived. His trust has made your pathway certain and your goals secure. You will not fail your brothers nor yourself. That paragraph is pretty powerful. It's saying, like, God trusts you to make this walk. So you must have everything that you need. And it made me think of, like, when I did a marathon one time, and every time I showed up to the marathon, we were raising money for Hodgkin's lymphoma, which was a cancer that my husband had. I would go to my coach and I'd be like, I'm not a jock. Like, be easy on me. Like, I spent my whole high school just smoking under the bleachers. That was my after-school curriculum. And every day I'd show up and be like, okay, I'll swim, I'll run, I'll do all this stuff that we're supposed to do, but I'm not a jock, I'm not a jock. And one day the coach said to me, you got to stop saying that. Like, you just have to stop. You've shown up for the last 30 days and you've gotten into the pool and you've swam and you've been running and you've been riding the bike and you're doing great. And you have to stop negating that you're capable of doing this triathlon. And that came up for me in this lesson. Is like, don't negate that God has chosen you, that you're the right person for this role, that you're here to walk to love, and in your walk to love, that God goes with you and you will help so many people walk to love, and that you have everything that you need. So that's what this is saying. 14 says, and now He asks, but that you think of Him a while each day, that He may speak to you and tell you of His love, reminding you how great His trust, how limitless His love. In your name and in His own, which are the same, we practice gladly with this thought today. I step back and let Him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to Him. Okay, I started out this lesson without reading it, and it is a powerful lesson. It's saying the things that I have great resistance around. All of the other ways that I want to go, all of the other goals that I want to put before the goal that I have of peace and of being one with God. All of those are not worthy of my time. And that this course and that this walk is very worthy. And It's exactly what you and I want, and it's going to be so helpful to the entire sonship as we walk in love. And we don't have to even decide what that looks like. All we have to do is decide that we're willing. And then God will show us where to go, what to do, and what to say. And it's saying, like, think of God a little every day and let Him tell you how dearly you're loved. I mean, all of this sounds so beautiful and also sort of trippy, you know? I don't know about you, but it sounds kind of trippy, and I don't mean to make light of it. But, yeah, I think we're moving into the deep waters with our commitment and our conviction. And so if you're listening to this video, obviously you're ready to go into the deep waters, as apparently I'm ready to go into the deep waters, and there's nothing to fear. There's only a greater good to be revealed. God goes with us every step and breath of the way. So I'm grateful to be sharing this lesson today, grateful to be walking the walk with you, and grateful that our every effort will be used for a higher good. Thank you. Namaste.